Sam was a natural-born leader. From the day that he was born, you really can't talk about the history without referencing Sam and Sam's legacy, the indelible imprint that he's left on our company and our community here in Northwest Arkansas. Sam always had a business mind. He was always looking at, how can I serve people? From delivering the milk that came from his family's cow on the farm, to starting a paper route, which he then hired other kids to deliver more paper so he could expand the route and give other kids a chance to make some money. Early on, Sam really was a leader and had that mind for serving the customer. Behind every great man is a great woman, and Sam had one of the greatest in Helen Walton. Helen was very much favored by the associates because she really was a champion for the associates. Helen had a big influence on their settling here in Bentonville. Helen had a big influence. It was Helen's dad that loaned Sam his startup capital to open up his first store in Newport, Arkansas in 1945. Helen's dad, L.S. Robson, loaned Sam $20,000 to get his business going. He used that money to purchase a Ben Franklin franchise for about $16,000. We just acquired the bill of sale for that. And so the money that was left over, he used to promote the store and to make some changes. He paid all that back to his father-in-law, and that was the start of his career. 5 years into Sam's Ben Franklin store in Newport, his lease was up, and Sam probably made the first big business mistake that he ever made in his career, and that was he had a lease for 5 years on the store, and at the end of the 5 years he went to renew the lease, and the owner of the building decided not to renew Sam's lease. That's when Sam went out to look for a new location, and that's when he found that Harrison's Variety Store was available. Luther Paw Harrison in 1950 was ready to sell his store to Sam, and Sam purchased it. Within a year, Sam expanded into the barber shop next door. When you expand, the floor in the barber shop and the floor in the Five and Dime were two different floors, so Sam did a remodel. If you come into the Five and Dime now and you look up, we have a section of that original ceiling that you can see. You look down at the floor, the red and green tiles don't exactly match. They're close. They don't match because Sam was offered a good deal on the tiles when he was doing the remodel sale. And Sam, knowing a good deal when he saw it, and he knew people weren't going to be looking at his floor, they were going to be looking at his merchandise, he took the deal. And to me, that's the very first example of everyday low cost, which is how Walmart achieves everyday low prices. I love that story because that was totally Sam. He's like, you know, that's not going to make a difference. That's not going to save. If we're going to save some money, we're going to save it for our customers, and we can bring merchandise in at a lower price, let's do it. Sam always looked to the customer to see what they needed, see what they wanted, and he gave them what they wanted, and he gave it to them at low prices. He always put the customer first. By the time Sam started the first Walmart, there were 15 Ben Franklins, but his first store here, Walton's Five and Dime, was a Ben Franklin store. It was a Ben Franklin franchise. This was new. He put his own name up there. He put Walton's on there. Not long after, he put a second one down on the square in Fayetteville. And all of these Ben Franklins, he started putting them up within Arkansas and Missouri. He knew how to replicate growth. And so with the first Walmart in 1962 over in Rogers, Arkansas, he really turned a corner on the next chapter in his retail career. He kept reinvesting in his stores, and then he opened Walmart, and he kept growing Walmarts. He paid very close attention to every dime that was spent, and he had some of the best minds in retail. He brought them along with him to help guide the ship and to keep track of these things so that he could go out and focus on the customers. He always kept the focus on the customer. And if you take care of the customer and you take care of your associates, that'll take care of everything else. He had all the right people working with him.
Hey, are you subscribed yet? You better do so in order to never miss a segment. Click below and subscribe today.